Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today I want to talk to you about boosters and everything that's going on in the United States and in Europe, and kind of take a look at where we are right now and get a feel for what might be required by the cruise lines a little bit down the road. And so first of all, I would like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members here. I'm so glad you came. Thank you. And also I would like to welcome all of you who are new. I hope you will enjoy our channel. I hope you take a look at the videos that we've got up and that you join in the fun that we have. And so, like I said, I want to talk to you about boosters today. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of talk about what boosters are going to be required. Everyone's wondering if the cruise lines are going to require boosters sooner than later. And let me just tell you a little bit about what's going on. First of all, in France, they have what they call a health pass, and all of their citizens have to have that health pass active if they want to be able to go like to bars, restaurants, museums, a lot of public gathering places. They need to have that active. And as of January 15th of 2022, they are requiring their citizens to have gotten their booster in order to keep that health pass active. And in France, the requirement is as soon as it's been like 9 months since your last vaccine, then it's time to get the booster. And so along with that, France is requiring all cruise passengers who come to France to have a booster. And so I know that right now the large cruise lines that sail out of the United States are not sailing with calling at ports in France right now, but this summer, this spring and summer, they will be, and so that is going to be a requirement to go. I know that the cruise lines here haven't announced that, but with France saying that that's a requirement, you're going to have a booster to go there. Now also, AIDA Cruise Lines, or AIDA Cruise Lines, however you like to say that, they are owned by Carnival Corporation. It's a European cruise line. They have already started requiring their passengers 65 and older to have a booster in order to be able to go on their cruises. And that requirement was just announced and really went into effect within a day or so on December 15th. And so as of December 15th, they have that in their protocols. And if you go to France and you don't have a booster, you can't get off the ship. And so that is going to be a requirement. Now, another thing that I wanted to let you know is the European Union has been talking and trying to decide what their policy is going to be regarding boosters. They are looking at requiring boosters for people traveling to the EU, and also for people who live in the member nations there, the countries in the EU, if they want to travel between the countries. And so they are looking at requiring that this summer, and I'm going to keep an eye and see what they firmly decide. But it sounds like like a booster is going to be required at some point if you want to enter any of those EU nations. And so like with France, a lot of the Mediterranean cruises, like especially if you are in or out of Barcelona, or even Rome will stop in, or go up, I should say, will have a port in France on their itinerary, but Italy, Greece, all of those nations are in the EU. And so I know that it will make a difference, like if it's been 6 months or maybe 9 months since your last vaccine was received. And so I will just keep an eye on that and let you know. But that is really big news as far as Europe goes. In the United States, our very own CDC has very strongly recommended that people who are 16 and older get a booster vaccine when it has been 6 months since they received their last vaccine dose. For, if you got the Moderna or the Pfizer, and if you receive the Johnson & Johnson, they are saying that they strongly recommend that you get your booster when it has been only 2 months since you received your Johnson & Johnson. And so remember that if you're 16 to 18, you can only get the Pfizer as your booster, but if you're 18 or older, you can get the Moderna or Pfizer as your booster. But they are strongly recommending that. And on their website, they have 3 important points that they point out as the reason that they are requiring or recommending this, I should say. The first one they say is that the recent emergence of the Omicron variant further emphasizes the importance of vaccinations, boosters, and prevention efforts needed to protect against COVID-19. And then they go on to say, number 2, it says recent evidence shows that among healthcare and other frontline workers, vaccine effectiveness against COVID-19 infection decreases over time. And the point number 3 is that this lower effectiveness is likely due to the combination of decreasing protection as time passes since getting vaccinated, and also the greater infectiousness of the Delta variant. And now they can add to that the Omicron variant. And so they've got those 3 points as to why they strongly recommend that people get a booster. Now, you add all of that information into where we stand. Now, today is December 18th, and we have had, on the 17th, we had updates from Norwegian and from Royal Caribbean. Norwegian is requiring masks. I've seen different reports. I've seen reports that say they're requiring masks on their cruises December 18th and 19th, and then after that we are just going to have to wait and see. And then I have seen other reports that say maybe it'll be longer. And so we know that on the cruises that are sailing today and tomorrow, that people have to wear a mask in the indoor areas and in the outdoor areas when they cannot socially distance, except for when they're eating or drinking. Now, whether it's just for those cruises and they'll announce more in a day or two, we will wait and see, but that is a really big deal. It means that Norwegian is concerned about how many cases they are going to get on their ships, even though they only sail with vaccinated people. The other update that we had yesterday was from Royal Caribbean. They tightened their mask policy. Up until now, they had people wear their masks, vaccinated and unvaccinated, wear their masks in the indoor areas, except, when they were eating or drinking, except for when they were in areas of the ship where only vaccinated people could go. In those areas, they let them take their mask off. Well, now Royal Caribbean is saying you need to wear your mask even in those areas. And then the other update that we had, today we've had Carnival and Princess. So with Carnival, they said that they're not going to allow smoking in their casinos anymore, and they are really tightening up their mask policy. They asked people to please wear their mask in the indoor areas, but they weren't really... they weren't quite so strict about it, but they sound like they are going to be very strict about it now. If you're in an indoor area, and you need to wear your mask over your nose and mouth, except for when you're eating or drinking. So they have really tightened that up a lot. And I should add that Royal Caribbean is leaving their mask tightening policy in effect until January 5th of 2022, at which point we'll hear more. And Carnival is leaving theirs until January 31st of 2022. And so that's a big deal. And then, like, if you probably just watched my Princess, if you didn't catch it, I have a Princess video up with all the updates that they just did, but they also tightened their mask policy up, and they also mentioned boosters, that the CDC strongly recommends that. And Carnival also mentioned that as well, that the CDC strongly recommends it. And Carnival went so far to say that they don't require you to get a booster, but if you do get one, they recommend you get one 7 days before you sail. And so with all of this going on, I really do think that boosters are coming as a requirement to be able to cruise. I honestly don't know if that's going to pop up in January or February or be a little bit later. We'll just have to wait and see on that. I think a large determining factor in that is going to be like what happens with these masking policies and with tightening things up with that, and what happens with the case count both on the ships and on land. Because if the cruise lines are really very concerned about it, they will have to they'll just do anything that they feel like they need to do in order to make it so that they can keep their passengers safe, their crew safe, and keep us sailing, because they don't want another cruise shut down, and we don't either. And so we'll just have to wait and see what they think. But I know that they also want to make it easy on their passengers, and they don't want to require things they don't need to require. So we'll just kind of, like I said, we'll have to see how it goes. If any of you have any thoughts on this or any insight website, just any conversation that you would like to have about it. We'd love to read those in the comments below, and well, I'll just keep you up to date on everything. So if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe you would like to subscribe so that you can get a little, if you hit that notification bell, you'll get an email, or if you turn on notifications on your phone, you'll just get a little notification that just says when we put a video up, so that you can kind of keep up to date on everything. I really appreciate you watching and sticking with me. So if you appreciate this video, will you please give it a thumbs up as well? It just helps YouTube show it to more people. It shows that you like it, and they make it a little bit more easy to find in the searches. So thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.